Hey guys, it's Taylor. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm gonna bring you something pretty special today. I made my first original tag because an album by one of my favorite bands of all time dropped in June, and I listened to it over and over and over, and I still find myself, when I'm trying to find something to listen to, going back to that album. And that is Last Young Renegade by All Time Low. They are my favorite band by far. I love them so much. And while I was listening to this, I got to thinking, I was like, there's a book tag in here. If I can come up with, I believe there's 10 songs, 10 different prompts that go with the songs and the vibes that I get, there's a tag. Now, this can kind of be like the playlist tag, but without the playlist tag, you listen to a song and you think of a book that goes with it. This, I have a like the title of the song and a prompt that goes with it. So it's the title and then the words of the lyrics of the song help me choose what the prompt is, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dive on in. There's 10 different prompts because there's 10 songs. I will play the chorus of each song and then we will go from there. So the first one is Last Young Renegade, and that is Last Young Renegade. Pick a book that you read in one night because there was just so much going on that it was impossible to put down. Okay, and for that I chose, it's going to be Perfect Chemistry by Simone Elkeles, and I didn't mean to really buy this book. I think I was buying a whole bunch of books before I joined BookTube, and this is just in the bundle and I picked it up on a whim and absolutely loved it. I read this in one night. It was fantastic. I don't know what it was about Brittany and Alex. I just loved them and their story. So next is Drugs and Candy. For that, if you pick a book that is trash, that is just trash that you absolutely love. And there are a whole bunch of books that could fit into this, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick my favorite. That is the Selection Series by Kiera Cass. So the next song is Dirty Laundry. And for this, it goes with the phrase, don't air your dirty laundry. Well, we're going to air your dirty laundry. I want to know a book that give me a book that you are shamefully addicted to. Now, this is not under the trash category, or it can be another book that you're completely trash for. But mine is a book that I read before BookTube, and that's going to be the 50 Shades of Grey series, or trilogy, by E.L. James. I love this book so much. I know. Next is going to be Good Times. Pick a book you have read that when you hear people mention it gives you warm and fuzzies and good memories. I love this book. It is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. I love this book so much. Whenever I hear people talk about it, it just makes me so happy because this book needs to get so much recognition. It is so well written, and I can't get over just the amount of love that I have for this book. I almost feel like it's a debut novel, but I'm not 100% sure. Editing Taylor will fix that statement. But yes, it's A Discovery of Witches, gives me so many good, fond memories, and makes me so happy when I see people talk about it and give it the recognition that it deserves. Next is going to be Nice to Know You. this is a book that you read and unhauled because it was just not good. There are many books that I have read and unhauled, but recently the book that I'm planning to get rid of 2 different books. One being A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. Did not like that. Second is going to be Queens of Geek by Jen Wilde. Didn't care for those. Next is going to be Life of the Party. And this is to name a book that you have read because of the hype surrounding it, and after reading, you totally understand the hype. And I'm gonna go with A Fire and Stars by Audrey Colhurst. I just can't explain how much I love this book so much. It is a book that I think I needed definitely in my life at the time I read it. Denna and Mare make me so happy. This book was just phenomenal, and it was a debut own voices novel, and it's so good. Next is Nightmares. And with Nightmares, it is a book that gave you the creeps and scared and having nightmares. Basically, it's a horror book that spooked you. Now, it's not a horror book, but I remember reading Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children for the first time. I was working overnights. But in Mrs. Peregrine's, there are images of the peculiar children, and I don't know, it was really, the book was actually really good, but the pictures, I think, are what sold it for me. It gave me an image of what these children looked like, and they were so creepy. I loved it. Number 8 is Dark Side of Your Room. And with Dark Side of the Room, it is a book that filled you with so much angst. Now, I don't know if this book filled me with a whole lot of angst, but I know that there was a lot of angst in it. And I'm going to go with Matched by Ali Condi. I actually just listened to the audiobook of this a couple of months ago, and I loved it. I really thoroughly enjoyed this. And it's really kind of angsty because for the first time in however many years this post-apocalyptic world has been going, there's a girl who questions everything. She questions the young man that she's been matched with. She ends up falling in love with a man that she was supposed to be matched with had it not been a certain circumstance. But it's really good, and she just questions everything and tries to, forge her own path. And it felt like there were times where my heart was pounding because her name is Cassia, and she is paired with a young man by the name of Xander. They happen to be best friends. It's basically the best that you can do, match made in heaven. But when she goes to learn about Xander through this chip, another face besides Xander pops up, and it's a boy by the name of Kai Markham, and she ends up befriending Kai, and it just goes from there. And their romance it's so angsty, and it's so cute and so good. Next is going to be Ground Control, and for this song, it's All Time Low featuring Tegan and Sarah. Now this one was hard. I bounced back and forth with this one because it gives me very much like a floating in space kind of vibe. So I was thinking your favorite sci-fi book, but then I got to thinking, I don't know how to explain it, but it gave me vibes of just and I'm going to go with Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, the epilogue. I really don't know how much more I can talk about this in the epilogue because it is everything. I cried so many happy tears. I have a really hard time picking up anything else by Cassandra Clare because it doesn't revolve around these 3 characters. And this Infernal Device series is one of my favorite series of all time now. Never gonna be okay again after this. And finally, it is going to be Afterglow. And for Afterglow, the final song is a book that picked you up after finishing a book that shoved you into a slump. So basically it can be taken as a book that you read. And I know that after my most recent book slump, one of the books that got me out was actually A Court of Thorns and Roses. I think I had just finished The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West and was very let down. But A Court of Thorns and Roses was just a breed all its own. That's a book that helped me get out of a slump because it was everything I had needed it to be and more. So that's going to be it for the last Young Renegade tag, but I will leave the people that I tagged down below, so be sure to check. I will also let everybody know on Twitter if I can get a hold of your Twitter handles. So yeah, that's going to be it, and I hope you had a wonderful time. I know I did. I love this album so much, so I had a lot of fun. But thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye!